They have just tried to bar President Trump from the Colorado ballot using an unconstitutional maneuver that is a bastardization of the 14th Amendment to our U.S. Constitution. This was a provision, Section 3, that was designed to bar Confederate members, people who switched to the Confederacy, from actually being able to serve. That's very different than what's at issue here, to say the least. This is a hollowed out husk of what the country was built on. The basic principle that we, the people, select our leadership, not the unelected elite class in the back of palace halls. That's old world Europe, not the United States. That's why I'm making a pledge today that I will withdraw, I pledge to withdraw from the Colorado GOP primary ballot unless and until Trump's name is restored. And I demand that Ron DeSantis and Chris Christie and Nikki Haley do the same thing, or else these Republicans are simply complicit in this unconstitutional attack on the way we conduct our constitutional republic. I refuse to be complicit in that. I think what they're doing is wrong, and I think it's up to Republicans to step up and stand up with a spine for our country's future. That's really what's at stake, whether we, the people, actually have a say in deciding who leads this country. Yes, it would be easier for other Republicans like me who are running in this race to say, hey, if Trump is sidelined, there's our opportunity. No doubt other candidates are probably privately celebrating with their corporate sponsors. That's not the right thing to do. I think the most useful thing that every GOP candidate can do right now is to join me in that pledge. I'll say that I will withdraw from that Colorado GOP primary ballot until Trump's name is restored. This belongs to the people, not to the unelected Democratic cabal of judges in Colorado or any other state. And I demand that Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley and Chris Christie do the same thing, or else they're complicit in what this security state is trying to do to shut down Trump. I stand by that, and I expect them to do the right thing.
Donald Trump has been disqualified from serving as U.S. president and kicked out of the presidential primary election in Colorado next year. The state's highest court made the historic decision on Tuesday over the former president's role in instigating violence against the government in the Capitol attack by his supporters on January 6, 2021. The 4-3 ruling by the Colorado Supreme Court was based on a rarely used provision of the U.S. Constitution. Section 3 of the 14th Amendment bars officials who have engaged in insurrection from holding office. Trump is now the first presidential candidate in history to be disqualified from the White House under that rule. The majority justices acknowledged the judgment was uncharted territory, but said, quote, "We do not reach these conclusions lightly." Trump's campaign said they will appeal the ruling at the U.S. Supreme Court, calling it flawed and undemocratic, while Trump accused the Democrats of election interference at a campaign rally in Iowa.
Crooked Joe Biden and the far-left lunatics are desperate to stop us by any means necessary. They are willing to violate the U.S. Constitutions at levels never seen before in order to win this election.
The case was not brought forward by Biden, but a group of Colorado voters backed by a nonprofit called Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington. In a statement, the nonprofit said the court's decision is, quote, "not only historic and justified, but is necessary to protect the future of democracy in our country." The lawsuit is seen as a test case for a wider effort to strike Trump off state ballots under the 14th Amendment. Tuesday's ruling overturns a lower court's judgment in Colorado that concluded Trump did engage in insurrection, but that, as president, Trump was not an officer of the United States who could be disqualified under the provision. It now sets the stage for the U.S. Supreme Court to potentially consider whether he's eligible across all 50 states to serve as president again. Half of the judges that make up the top court's conservative majority are Trump appointees.